Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox. Today we are doing a review of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. This game was released on September 10th, 2002 and found its way onto most major consoles, including the Xbox, which is where all gameplay footage you'll see today was captured. Developed by Krome Studios, an Australian game developer with a vision for a distinctly Aussie-themed platformer. This game marks the origin of a franchise that would later receive multiple titles. I do not have prior experience with these games beyond a passing interest during my younger days. However, as I found myself in the mood for a classic platformer, I decided to give Ty a run-through, and I'm here today to share my thoughts and opinions about this game. Along the way, if you got any memories or thoughts on this franchise, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. But let's get started. In Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, you step into the shoes of the titular character Ty, embarking on a quest to thwart Boss Cass, a cunning cassowary who has snatched 5 ancient talismans and imprisoned Ty's parents. It's a somewhat formulaic narrative, not particularly remarkable at first glance. I should note though that Ty falls into the category of children's games, and while I don't believe it deserves a free pass solely for that reason, I do think it offers an enjoyable journey for younger audiences. While the plot may not astound, what truly shines is the rich tapestry of Australian characters that infuse charm and entertainment into this game. Krome Studios drew inspiration from an array of Australian wildlife, and this is where the game truly shines. Sure, you've got iconic animals like koalas and platypuses, but it doesn't stop there. Ty introduces you to creatures you might not have encountered if you're not from Australia, such as lyrebirds, thorny devils, and bilbies. What's impressive is that these characters aren't merely background decorations. They each boast their unique and delightful personalities. You'll meet a koala scientist, a lyrebird that takes its namesake quite literally by offering you hilariously lied-about directions, and a host of others. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger boasts a colorful and diverse cast that adds to this game's overall appeal. With its witty quips and humorous dialogues, the characters add an extra layer of fun to the game's experience. Admittedly, not every character may be etched into your memory, but they all bring their own brand of entertainment. The diverse set of characters contributes to a charming, cartoony atmosphere that wouldn't feel out of place on any channel airing cartoons from that era. It's a well-executed aspect of the game that undoubtedly caters to children, but remains lighthearted enough for adults to appreciate. Ty doesn't shy away from its inspirations. Many contemporary reviews likened it to a Mario clone, where Ty explores multiple areas, featuring different biomes, engaging in the classic platforming activities of running, jumping, and collecting objects. While the similarities are evident, I couldn't help but notice strong influences from the first Jak and Daxter game, which was released less than a year apart. Although I can't say for certain how closely Ty was inspired by Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy, there are certainly hints of influence, like in the collection of orb-like items required to earn Thunder Eggs. Each level consists of select Thunder Eggs that can only be obtained through specific means, often involving exploration or level-specific tasks, such as extinguishing fires by demolishing water towers. Unlike Jak and Mario, though, I found these tasks to be generally undemanding and straightforward. Ty offers a breezy experience, making it accessible to a younger audience. The controls, while not exceptional, are decent, but they may take some time to get used to. Ty's jumps are notably shorter than expected, leading to frequent close calls when leaping between platforms. However, the addition of a gliding feature adds a layer of fun from jumping off of higher level platforms, allowing you to navigate to distant spots. The camera can be a bit finicky at times, occasionally positioning itself at awkward angles, although it didn't pose significant issues during my playthrough. One aspect that I enjoyed was Ty's specialty boomerangs, which can be upgraded for added functionality. The basic boomerangs serve as weapons, but the upgrades introduce engaging dimensions. For example, ice boomerangs freeze enemies and extinguish fires, while zooming boomerangs act like snipers, and fire boomerangs prove to be exceptionally useful across the board. My main gripe with these boomerangs is that they weren't used extensively in the in-game puzzles. It would have been satisfying to encounter puzzles requiring creative combinations of all of your boomerangs, but the game tends to opt for more straightforward solutions. The combat is solid but straightforward as well. You throw boomerangs to attack, complemented by a bite move that zooms you in for close quarters combat, making it my preferred choice. Some enemies can only be harmed by biting. Unfortunately, enemy variety is somewhat lacking, leading to a repetition of the same attacks over and over. I personally find enjoyment in games with simple mechanics and basic platforming, as they provide an opportunity to just unwind and collect goodies without taxing the brain. Ty falls into this category, offering a satisfying experience with only minor control issues. It's well suited for kids, but I personally enjoyed exploring the levels, hopping around and collecting items. The game provides entertainment and took me around 8 hours to complete, a respectable duration for a game of this nature. While I didn't 100% it, I believe it's worth revisiting to collect everything. Graphically, Ty doesn't strive to be a standout, opting instead for a charming and cutesy cartoon style that genuinely suits the game. Where it truly shines is in its character models, each of which boasts a distinct personality that's immediately recognizable, a characteristic often found in animated cartoons. Various animal characters, including the protagonist Ty, are visually appealing, and Ty's animations are notably well executed. It's worth noting the amusing detail of Ty speaking from only one side of his mouth. It's one of his little endearing quirks. However, the game falters in terms of enemy variety. While the character models themselves aren't bad, as you progress further, you'll begin to notice that many enemies are repeated across levels. Although some unique enemies tie into specific biomes, this is the exception rather than the rule. The game also suffers from a lack of diversity in both enemies and locations. Despite this, the game's locales are quite appealing, revolving around Australian themes. For instance, the Outback level where you traverse dirt roads atop an animal companion stands out as a personal favorite of mine. The attention to detail, such as the lush grass, is commendable. However, it's worth mentioning that certain levels feel like reiterations of earlier ones, particularly the multiple rainforest theme levels. Expanding on a single level or making it more distinct could have added more visual variety to the game. Nevertheless, while the lack of graphical diversity is noticeable, it doesn't significantly detract from the overall cartoony experience. The music in Ty the Tasmanian Tiger doesn't exactly steal the spotlight. It carries a cutesy tone, occasionally laced with subtle surf rock elements. None of the tracks are really that catchy, and they tend to stand out mainly because they're constantly looped throughout each level. This repetition can become a bit grating as you hear the same tunes over and over. Fortunately, the music isn't jarring and it manages to blend into the background pretty well. As for the sound effects, they don't exactly stand out either, but get the job done. The game seems to aim for a distinctive cartoonish sound effect style, especially noticeable when you listen to the boomerangs and bites, which can add to the overall cartoon experience. Now, where Ty truly shines in the audio department is its voice acting. The witty writing paired with solid voice work creates a genuinely enjoyable experience. Throughout the game, you'll encounter various Australian sayings that contribute to the atmosphere, some of which may require you to quickly look it up to fully grasp their meaning if you're not from Australia. Each character is well voiced, making them memorable and distinct. Even Ty himself chimes in with minimal but amusing statements, like his frequent saying of "struth." The voice talent behind this game does an excellent job, adding an extra layer of fun to the overall experience. To conclude, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger is an undeniably fun game. While it's primarily targeted at children, it offers a breezy collectathon experience that can be enjoyable for gamers of all ages. The game successfully combines a charming cartoony style with its story, voice acting, and overall aesthetics, though it does have some minor gameplay issues and it may not be a standout title. It delivers an entertaining diversion anyway. While it may not claim the title of the best platformer of the 6th generation by far, it's still a great way to spend your gaming time. I wholeheartedly recommend giving it a try, especially if you're in the mood for a relaxed and enjoyable gaming experience. And on my Xbox ranking list, Ty ends up at number 38, right between NFL Fever and NASCAR Heat 2002. I think Ty is more replayable than NASCAR Heat 2002, but I would rather replay NFL Fever over Ty. But that wraps it up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and also let me know in the comments below what you want me to play next. Subscribe if you want to see more retro Xbox content like this, and I'll see you here next time, here at Camp Xbox.